Much will be written about the presidency of Donald J. Trump over the coming days, months, and years. So, to sort of add a jolt of positivity to what will undoubtedly be a stream of negativity for a president that faced unique challenges unlike any other president before him, as far as a media and political class that was absolutely adamant that his election must have been fraudulent and that the votes of his millions and millions of voters should be sidelined as a basket of deplorables. So putting all that to one side, let's look at what some of the Trump administration's top accomplishments have been in 3 minutes over that short 4-year period. Start the clock. Trump secured a $400 billion increase in defense spending from NATO. He worked to reform and streamline the United Nations. He brokered economic normalization between Serbia and Kosovo, bolstering peace in the Balkans. He maintained a maximum pressure campaign and enforced tough sanctions on North Korea while negotiating denuclearization. He's negotiated the release of American hostages and the return of the remains of American heroes. He signed the Hong Kong Autonomy Act to hold China accountable for its infringement on the autonomy. He removed the United States from the United Nations Human Rights Council due to the group's blatant anti-Israel bias. He established the Space Force, the first new branch of the United States Armed Forces since 1947. He completely rebuilt the United States military with over $2.2 trillion in defense spending. He freed nearly 8 million civilians from ISIS bloodthirsty control and liberated Mosul, Raqqa, and the final ISIS foothold. He signed an executive order that ensures public universities protect free speech rights or they risk losing their funding. In 2019, America achieved the largest decline in carbon emissions of any country on Earth since withdrawing from the Paris Climate Accord. He joined together with Mexico and Canada in a successful bid to host the 2026 FIFA World Cup. He led allied efforts to defeat the Chinese Communist Party's efforts to control the international telecommunications system. He brokered historic peace agreements between Israel and Arab Muslim countries, including the United Arab Emirates, the Kingdom of Bahrain and Sudan, appointed 3 Supreme Court justices, expanding its conservative appointed majorities to 6-3. Before China's irresponsible actions allowed the coronavirus to spread around the world, America gained 7 million new jobs. A middle-class income increased by almost $6,000. Unemployment was the lowest in half a century. More Americans were employed than ever before. Unemployment rates for African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, Native Americans, veterans, the disabled, and those without high school diplomas all reached record lows. Wages rose fastest for low-income and blue-collar workers, a 16% pay increase, created more than 1.2 million manufacturing and construction jobs. An October 2020 Gallup survey found that 56% of Americans said they were better off during a pandemic than 4 years prior. During 2020, in the third quarter, the economy grew at a rate of 33.1%, the most rapid GDP growth ever recorded. He signed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, the largest tax reform package in history. More than 6 million American workers received pay increases thanks to the tax cuts. He directed an all-government effort to halt and punish efforts by the Communist Party of China to steal and profit from American innovations and intellectual property. For the first time in nearly 70 years, the United States became a net energy exporter. He prevented Russian energy coercion across Europe, suspended all travel from China, saving thousands of lives, launched Operation Warp Speed to initiate an unprecedented drive to develop and make available an effective vaccine. Pfizer and Moderna have developed 2 vaccines in just 9 months, 5 times faster than the fastest prior vaccine development in American history. Stop the clock and let me know what you think in the comment section. Reasoned relies upon grassroots donations from people like yourself that want us to continue producing our high quality, free thinking content. So please do consider clicking the link and donating, no matter how big, no matter how small, because it really does ensure that we can keep on keeping on.